In a world where craftsmanship is often rushed and mass-produced, this magnificent wooden dragon sculpture stands as a bold reminder of timeless artistry. Hand-carved with extraordinary precision and reverence, the dragon, an enduring symbol of strength, wisdom, and protection, bursts from the wood with a vitality that feels almost alive. Every scale, every claw, every swirling flame along its sinuous body tells a story of patience, passion, and mastery. This isn't just a sculpture, it's a soul forged in cedar. The natural flow of the wood grain has been masterfully honored and enhanced by the artist's hand, turning what was once a raw block of timber into something that feels mythic. The dragon's body coils through the air with dynamic force, as if it's about to leap off its pedestal. You can feel the power in its stance, the tension in its legs, the ferocity in its eyes, the command in its raised head. It doesn't merely sit atop its base. It owns it. Look closer and you'll see the subtle transitions in texture from the intricate pattern of the dragon's scales to the smoother polished wood of the supporting base. The base, rugged and untouched in places, anchors the wild majesty of the dragon, as though it has erupted from the very earth itself. The orbs, perhaps symbolic pearls of power or celestial energy, balance strength with harmony. Everything about this work invites deeper contemplation. What truly sets this piece apart is not just its detail, but its emotion. There's movement in the stillness, drama in the grain. Light seems to dance along its curves and contours, catching highlights in, and that's what makes the Woodcarving Artist channel such a rare treasure. This isn't about decoration or decor. It's about storytelling through tools and timber. Watching the process unfold, the first cut, the shaping of the silhouette, the endless refining is a journey in itself. It's a meditative experience that reveals how true beauty is born, not from speed or ease, but from devotion and discipline. If you've ever stood in awe at a museum, lingered over the lines of a sculpture, or wondered how something so complex could come from human hands, this channel is for you. It's a place where tradition meets imagination, where nature and myth merge, and where wood in the right hands becomes legend. So if you found yourself captivated by this dragon, if your spirit stirred even just a little, imagine what else awaits. Don't just scroll past. Subscribe to Woodcarving Artist and step into a world where every cut is intentional, every curve has meaning, and every finished piece whispers the same quiet truth: some stories are best told in wood. At first glance, this vibrant vessel might seem like a simple piece of decor, but look again, and you'll realize you're staring into a whirlwind of color, texture, and motion. This handcrafted wooden vase is a celebration of contrast and courage, blending the rustic warmth of natural grain with bold, unapologetic strokes of color. The result is something utterly unique, a fusion of traditional craftsmanship and abstract expressionism, captured forever in wood and resin. There's something undeniably magnetic about the colors. The fiery red across the top feels like sunrise over a canyon, hot, daring, alive. Below it, a deep navy blue pools like a calm sea after the storm grounding the chaos above. Between them, streaks of golden brown and ochre swirl like wind through desert rock, paying homage to the natural timber beneath the polish. None of it feels random. It's emotional. It's intentional. It's the kind of piece that doesn't just sit quietly on a shelf, it starts conversations. You can almost feel the rhythm of the artist's hand in every swirl, every gradient shift. This isn't manufactured art. It's felt. The form of the vase, rounded, generous, timeless, offers a perfect counterbalance to the wild energy of the resin. It's the visual equivalent of a jazz solo over a classical foundation. And when the sunlight hits the surface just right, the entire piece glows from within like it's breathing. The true genius here lies in how the artist doesn't force control over the material. Instead, they guide it, letting the resin dance through the wood's curves, respecting the grain's story, not burying it. This level of harmony doesn't happen by accident. It requires intuition, patience, and an artist's willingness to listen to the medium itself. What emerges is not just a vase, but a dialogue between the wild and the refined, the planned and the unpredictable. It's rare to see such a daring use of color in woodworking, and rarer still to see it pulled off with this much elegance. This piece would be just as at home in a Manhattan penthouse as it would in a Sonoma gallery. It speaks to lovers of modern art, but it's grounded in the traditions of handcraft. You don't need to be an art critic to appreciate it. You just need to stand still long enough to feel it. And that's the magic of the Woodcarving Artist channel. Each video is more than just a tutorial or showcase, it's an experience. You watch a blank piece of wood transform not through machines, but through the artist's vision. Whether it's a dragon bursting from cedar or a vase like this, pulsing with resin and imagination, the journey is just as breathtaking as the result. If this vase stirred something in you, curiosity, wonder, maybe even a touch of envy, then you owe it to yourself to see what else this channel brings to life. Hit that subscribe button on Woodcarving Artist and join a growing community of people who believe that art still matters, that hands still create beauty, and that even the most ordinary piece of wood can become extraordinary in the right hands. In a world where furniture is often mass-produced and soulless, this handcrafted wooden table is a breath of fresh air, bold in its craftsmanship, yet humble in its purpose. At first glance, it stands with the confidence of something well-built, but the closer you look, the more you realize this table is a true work of functional art. Every inch of it speaks to intention, balance, and a deep understanding of both wood and geometry. This is not just a table, it's a statement. The top surface is what captures your attention first. It isn't a flat, forgettable slab. Instead, it's a dynamic mosaic of wooden tiles arranged with symmetry and imagination. The grain runs in opposing directions, forming rectangles and trapezoids that dance beneath a clear, polished finish. It's as if the wood is speaking through pattern, telling stories of tree seasons and the hands that brought them together. The color palette is warm and optimistic, combining natural golden hues with subtle contrasts that invite the eye to wander. Then come the legs, bold and grounded. Their architecture suggests stability and pride. There's something almost cathedral-like in their structure-wide feet for support, vertical beams with decorative joints, and a central crossbar that draws everything into harmony. It's the kind of build that says, "I was made to last." The entire base seems to honor both the raw power of nature and the careful logic of design. What makes this piece truly remarkable is its honesty. It doesn't hide behind flashy finishes or industrial hardware. Instead, it lets the character of the wood shine through the small imperfections, the variations in tone, the texture that your hand instinctively wants to touch. It's a table you want to gather around, whether for a meal, a deep conversation, or simply to rest your coffee while you breathe in the quiet. In American homes, the table is often the heart of the house. It's where deals are made, where kids do homework, where friends share wine, and where families reconnect after long days. This particular table fits that legacy beautifully. It brings a sense of grounding, of being present. It doesn't rush. It doesn't apologize. It just is strong, elegant, and full of soul. And that's exactly what the Woodcarving Artist channel brings to life. Behind every piece, like this is a patient process. The selection of the right wood, the planning of each cut, the hours spent sanding, fitting, and finishing. When you watch a video from Woodcarving Artist, you're not just seeing a table come together. You're witnessing a philosophy, a return to slower, more meaningful creation, a belief that even the most practical objects can carry beauty and spirit. So if you found yourself admiring this table, wondering how it came to be, or imagining it in your own space, don't let this moment pass. Subscribe to Woodcarving Artist and become part of a community that still believes in hands-on craftsmanship, timeless design, and the quiet magic of turning raw wood into heirlooms. Because the world may be fast, but beauty like this never goes out of style. There's something beautifully timeless about a wooden vase, especially one like this hand-turned and polished with such care that it almost glows under the light. This piece with its soft curves and warm, rich finish feels as if it's been pulled from the pages of an heirloom story. It's not just a container, it's a keeper of atmosphere, a small but powerful symbol of intention, elegance, and natural beauty. The first thing that strikes you is the form. From its wide rounded belly to its gracefully tapered neck, this vase speaks the visual language of classic design. It feels balanced and centered, as if it were designed not just to be seen, but to be held. The triple ring groove just below the neck adds a subtle rhythm to the shape, a nod to tradition, and a reminder that the smallest details often carry the greatest meaning. But what truly sets this piece apart is the unexpected splash of color, a deep lavender pink resin inlay embedded into the wood like a quiet revelation. It's not loud, it's not trying to steal the show, and yet it brings the entire piece to life, like a secret garden blooming in the middle of a forest. The resin doesn't fight the natural grain, it complements it, creating a dialogue between what nature gives and what human hands refine. It's as though the artist found a scar in the wood and decided not to hide it, but to celebrate it with color. That takes vision and heart. The finish is smooth, almost mirror-like in places, but it never loses the soul of the wood. You can see the grain swirling just beneath the surface like a fingerprint, a reminder that no two vases, just like no two trees, are ever truly the same. There's a quiet warmth to it, the kind that makes you want to reach out and run your fingers along the curve to feel the craftsmanship in your hands. This is a piece that belongs anywhere beauty is appreciated, on a mantel, in a reading nook, on a minimalist dining table. It doesn't demand space, it enhances it. And perhaps most importantly, it connects us to something we've nearly forgotten, that art doesn't have to shout to be heard. Sometimes it just has to be real. And that's exactly what you'll find at the Woodcarving Artist channel. These aren't factory-made objects. They're soulful, slow-crafted, and full of meaning. Each piece comes from a place of patience and precision, where raw wood meets the steady hand of a master and emerges transformed. Watching the process, each turn of the lathe, each smooth polish, each brush of resin is more than satisfying. It's inspiring. If you've ever felt drawn to things that last, to things made with care instead of speed, then you're already part of the tribe. Don't just admire this vase. Let it be your doorway into a deeper appreciation for craft and creativity. Subscribe to Woodcarving Artist and step into a world where wood is not just material, but story. Where every curve has a purpose, every flaw is a feature, and every object is a quiet masterpiece waiting to be noticed.